Hey guys, it's Toxic Titan Gaming, and there's a new expansion for Hearthstone, so obviously I want to make a new video about it. I'm actually going to do a pack opening, I think, because I did one of the pre-order things. Yeah, I've got a lot of packs to open, but I'll probably just do it all as one video, just so it's all there, and then if people don't want to watch it, then they don't have to skip like 3 videos. But I figured I'd go ahead and do this, and the Witchwood expansion is available. So we're gonna go in here, and there was things that were saying that we get extra packs and a free legendary. So we got Tess Greymane, which is a ridiculous card. And so we are going to see what cool cards we can get. Now I know some of the new mechanics and like kind of how they work. Like Rush essentially works like Charge as far as I can tell. I'm still not completely sure about different things, so it's as we get new abilities that I haven't seen yet, then I'll look at them as we get the cards. Just it'll be easier to do it that way instead of just going back and researching through all of it. And we're switching to the Year of the Raven, which means that now 3 of the old expansions that were some of the best are now out. So Whispers of the Old Gods came out. What was another one? Karazhan is out, and I can't remember what the middle one was, but there are 3 that are gone now. So it's Gadget Zan. That's what the other one was. I hate that these 3 are gone, because these 2 in particular were some of my favorites. Because this one gave me my Cthulhu deck, which was awesome, and then this one gave me my Jade Druid. So it is what it is. And then now some of these are in Hall of Fame, like Cold Light Oracle. I'm not gonna miss that card in the slightest. Ice Block, kind of. Molten Giant, I never used it, like, at all. Yeah! So we got some free stuff. Alright. Oh, we have a special quest. If I win 10 games in standard play, I get Lunara, who I believe... I have no standard decks now. See, that's how intense this has gotten, is that now I have 0 standard decks. But Lunara, I believe, is a ranger. So that could be kind of cool. But we're going to go down here and open some packs. You see, we got 76 of the new packs. So this may take a while, but a lot of it will probably be just repetitive type stuff. So let's go ahead and open one, shall we? Now, I know there's Rush, and there are some new cards that are Worgen. First pack is legendary. Alrighty, so I know that there are some new Worgen cards that change each turn, so that'll be cool. Echo is kind of cool, because what Echo does is basically you use it, and then if you still have the mana to use it again, you can play it again and again and again and again and again. So with this card, with Warpath, technically you could play it up to 5 times if you have 10 mana. So it can get ridiculous. And let's see what our first legendary is. We got Dollmaster Dorian. Whenever you draw a minion, summon a 1/1 copy of it. Okay. Interesting. Let's go ahead and throw one of these over here. This one's just a standard pack. There's a lot more with lifesteal. Each turn this ups in your hand, so that means that this is one of the Worgen cards where it will start off as 1, but every turn it swaps its attack at the beginning of your turn. So that can be a really big thing. Also, I saw this card in particular, the Quartz Elemental, used in a really, really cool deck just last week. So that could be really, really interesting to try to finally make a priest that's worth a crap. Let's see what we got now. We got the Witch's Apprentice. That's really interesting, and it is a quick one drop that you can drop down at the beginning and get something new. Poisonous and Rush. So Rush is can attack minions immediately. So it's essentially charge. And it may have taken place of charge. No, Rush is only can attack minions. I see now. Charge minions can attack anything, but Rush can only attack minions. I see what it is now. I got you. And Poisonous has been in there for a little while. It basically just means if you attack something, it's going to die. So it's a good way of taking out some big cards. Dire Frenzy looks awesome. Hedge Clan Thug. That's really cool. Duskhaven Hunter. So this is one of the Worgens. Mist Wraith, whenever you play an Echo card, so you can make an Echo Rogue that'll be probably ridiculous. Totem Cruncher. Destroy your totems, gain +2/+2 for each destroyed. That's ridiculous. I may have to try to make a Totem Shaman or something just so I can use something like that. Because I've never been great with the Shamans. Okay. Looks pretty good. Pirate Rogue is going to be a thing that can still happen pretty well. From what I've seen. Oops. Went too far. It's hard to tell when you've got blues when that does that big explosion thing. Deranged Doctor. Good grief. That is ridiculous. The only thing that make that even worse is if you had a card that like gave it taunt. Because then that would be an 8/8 for 8 with taunt, which is essentially the Iron Bark for the druids. But it would also heal 8 health to your hero when it dies. That's ridiculous. So we got some more druids that can change into one or the other, so that's kind of nice. Phantom Militia. That's really cool because you can get a whole bunch of taunt minions out all at once if you need to. Okay. Go ahead and do that. This one can be ridiculous, especially if you have ones that will, like... I know there's a card somewhere in here that will boost your hero power. And I think it is an odd number, like an odd cost mage. I think will boost your hero power if you have only odd cards in your deck. So it's kind of a weird one, but it's cool. Stab Freeze could be cool because it kind of... It serves as both a potion of freezing and shatter at the same time, so that's really nice. And then you got your pirates, which are all about doing stuff with pirates and weapons and stuff. Another good rogue get rid of stuff ability, so it's going to be obnoxious, but it'll happen all the time, I'm guaranteeing. This is just ridiculous. This would definitely go in a dragon deck for me. Like, I want to make a dragon deck so bad and use this, because that'd be one heck of a taunt. We're now 10 packs in. Let's see what else we can get. Okay. Looks pretty good. So you can keep on until like can't do any damage. So that'd be kind of interesting. Try to like, especially to try to like get rid of a specific card. There's another warpath. Cauldron Elemental. Your other elementals have +2 attack. That could be one that would have to go into one of my favorite decks right now, which is a Random Elements Mage, which I will need to look into because apparently it's not standard anymore. So I'll need to switch it around. I don't know what's in there that's not standard anymore though. Bewitched Guardian. That right there is ridiculous. Spell Shifter. So yeah, this is one that'll turn to a 4/1 if you wait a turn. So. Cool. Cool beans. We got Curse of Weakness and Hidden Wisdom. After your opponent plays 3 cards in a turn, draw 2 cards. That's an interesting Paladin card and could backfire pretty easily, I feel like. Where you just have like 9 cards in your hand or something and then you burn one of yours on accident because they play 3 cards in a turn. Wing Blast is super useful. Because you just kill one thing and then this costs 1 instead of 4 and you deal 4 damage. It's like the first part of a swipe without the everything else dying. So this is a really simple card and I feel like it's going to show up a whole bunch for some reason. Because Warlocks like to be obnoxious. But it's whatever. Clockwork Automaton is kind of ridiculous, especially if you have, like I said, that I think it's that odd cost mage that has the card where if you have only odd cost cards, your hero power is increased, and you also have that other guy that lets you reset your hero power. So you play this down and you're doing double damage, then you use your hero power and it hits even harder, so that's at that point 4. Then you play the guy who lets you reset it, then you hit him again with your hero power, which still only costs 2. So that gets ridiculous because that's 8 damage on a turn. It's a very blue pack. Dark Possession. Deal 2 damage to a friendly character, discover a minion. I still don't understand why Warlocks are all just like, deal damage to your own characters and you get stuff. That doesn't seem extremely great. Discover a minion or discover a demon sounds a lot better than a lot of other options, but there's a lot of them that are like, kill yourself almost to the brink of extinction and draw a single card. Holy Water. Deal 4 damage to a minion if that kills it. That's a really, really cool card. Because it gives you removal, and if it's a really, really good minion, you have one. So especially with this new set, I may have to try to make a priest deck that's not awful. Rebuke. That's an interesting one. That's basically Loetheb, as far as I can remember, which was from the Naxxramas set, which was like one of the first expansions. Alrighty, let's open all these up. Raven Caller. That's a really interesting one because it gives you a couple random ones, but you could still use it if you wanted to in an odd cost mage deck because it's 2 1 cost minions and it's a 3 cost. So I feel like there's a lot of these that are going to be doubles. The Gilnean Royal Guard, that's really, really cool. Because you can either use it as a little tank, or you can use it as a super heavy hitter for 8 damage in a turn. Whenever you cast a spell, summon a random 2-cost minion. I think there's also an even cost mage. Remember right? Divine Hymn. Restores 6 health to all friendly characters, because priests needed more cards to heal everything on their side of the board. Blazing Invocation. Discover a Battlecry minion. That is an interesting shaman deck that I saw played a little bit. By the way, we're 20 packs in now. But a shaman deck that is based around Battlecry minions. And it is not one that I had... There's another Hidden Wisdom. The Bonfire Elemental. If you played an elemental last turn, draw a card. Okay. 3 damage to the enemy hero. Restore 3 to your hero. That's a classic lifelink type situation. But it's only the once. So... what we got now? Ooh, another legendary. With the Witchwood Grizzly, lose 1 health for each card in your opponent's hand. Interesting. Huh. What did we get? Toki Time Tinkerer. Add a random legendary minion from the past to your hand. Oh, that could be awesome. I wonder if it'd be things like Ragnaros and that kind of stuff. That could be nice. Just go ahead and pop that rare. The Red Band Wasp. That's a really cool one because it's kind of like Enraged, except if you heal it up, then it loses its power again. So neat. A Spectral Cutlass. This gets ridiculous, and there's a whole rogue set that's built around grabbing cards from your opponent and that kind of stuff, because there's thieves, and so it'd be easy to do a deck completely based around that kind of stuff. And these are all cards that I've seen before. See, this is the thing that's going to end up happening. It's going to be, I open a pack, I just skip all the way through it because we've seen all of them. The Curio Collector. Whenever you draw a card, gain +1/+1. That's a very, very interesting one. Also could still be played in an odd cost, which is cool. And there's another Dark Possession. Also, that Curio Collector, I think it was a 4/4 for 4. And so that's still a pretty good cost. Even if it didn't have the ability to gain +1/+1 for every single card that you draw, so every single turn it gains +1/+1. It forces your opponent to take care of it very quickly before it gets out of hand. Toxmonger. Whenever you play a 1-cost minion, give it poisonous. That's cool. That's very cool. Let's see what we got now. Just another basic pack. Ooh, 2 golden commons. Now this one we've seen, but this one we haven't, which is kind of neat. That threat will give +2/+1 to a random friendly rush minion. And it's a weapon, so it does 2/2 for 2 cost. A Carrion Drake. If a minion died this turn, gain poisonous. Neat. Alrighty. Got a couple of rares. Witching Hour. Summon a random friendly beast that died this game. Cool. And Carrion Drake. Okay. I definitely want to play around with Hunter, probably with some Priest, depending on how many really, really good cards I get. At the end of your turn, both players draw a card. Interesting. We are now 30 cards in, so we're getting close to halfway done. The Fell Soul Inquisitor. Lifesteal and Taunt. Simple, but effective. The Mad Hatter. Randomly toss 3 hats to other minions. Each hat gives +1/+1. So you'd want to play this when you're the only one who has minions on the board, or if you're wanting to mess up something on their side of the board, I guess. Maybe to set up for like a priest type maneuver. The Deathweb Spider. Battlecry. If your hero took damage this turn, gain lifesteal. So that is one of the things about Warlocks, is they have a whole bunch of cards that play into the whole I'm going to hit myself in the face. Like I say, still don't completely understand it, but it's interesting. I respect people who play it, but I don't like it myself. Blood Witch. At the start of your turn, deal 1 damage to your hero. That's an easy way to proc that spider, because you're only dealing 1 damage. And I know there are a bunch of cards that have lifesteal now, so that is an easy way to get health back. Like with that spider, gains lifesteal if you get hurt. That's going to get dusted, because I have at least 2 of the normal Raven Collars, which means I can get more cards that I want. While this minion has 3 or more attack, it has taunt or lifesteal. So if you play a card that does +1 to something, and that gets it, it will gain taunt and lifesteal, which is cool. But I'm kind of curious if it was silenced. If it was silenced, I'm guessing that it may still keep the +1/+1. No, it wouldn't keep the +1/+1 because that counts towards the text on the card. So it would, but it still wouldn't be able to get that back. It's a cool card though. I haven't played Paladin in a while. I played it just a little bit ago, just to actually, get some quests done. But other than that, Walnut Sprite is interesting because you can play like at least 3 on a turn if you have no extra mana, and it's like 9 or 10. Tangle for Mystic, I missed this one the first time. Add a random 2-cost minion to each player's hand. That's kind of interesting, and could be good for you, bad for them, or it could be good for either one. The Nightingale Matriarch, I think I missed 2. Whenever a friendly minion is healed, summon them 3/3 Whelp. That's ridiculous, because priests are all about healing their own minions. I already mentioned that because of the stupid cards. It's like add 6 health, or gain 6 health for all your minions, or whatever it was. But what that means is that every time a minion is healed, if you have 3 minions on the board and you heal all 3 of them with something, you get 3 3/3 Whelps, which is ridiculous because that's for free. That's a 4-cost card. So that means you're getting lots of stuff. Squashling is another ridiculous one because it's restore 2 health, and there's a priest that plays with it reverses your healing, so that you basically have a targeted deal 2 damage spell that you can use for 2 mana every turn, and so you can target this to deal 2 damage to whatever you want over and over and over and over and over again. So it's really cool. I'll probably have to play some with this Squashling. Forest God again. Lost Spirit. Give your minions +1 attack. And we are officially halfway through the packs. So we'll see how this goes. The Duskhaven Hunter. Night Prowler. This is the only minion in the battlefield. Gain +3/+3. So that literally has to be the only one when you play it. So you're going to want a lot of board control to make sure that comes out on its own. Witchwood Grizzly again. Swift Messenger, another Worgen, another Rush. It'd be very, very good to hit real quick for 6 if you need to. Draw a card, gain 1 armor for each card in your hand. That's really awesome. Because you're at least going to get 1 armor, but you could get much more. And druids are all about getting natural armor. Even from his hero ability, he gets 1 natural armor every time he uses it. Let's see what the epic is. The Worgen Abomination. At the end of your turn, deal 2 damage to all other damaged minions. Jeez. That's ridiculous. That's like blow up his side of the field type ridiculous. Witchwood Imp. Stealth, give a random friendly minion +2 health. That's stupid and would suck. Sandbinder. Draw an elemental from your deck. Simple, but effective. Blink Fox. Add a random card to your hand from your opponent's class. That right there leads into the whole rogue side where it's like, hey, I have this legendary minion that lets me reuse all the cards that I've used before. And so you can build up this super weapon in the, there's the Spectral Saber or something like that. The Vicious Scalehide is ridiculous. And there was one of the cards that I saw as a combination with this that was the Dire Frenzy, or whatever it was for the Hunter. That gives it +3/+3, which makes that a 4/6. But then on top of that, you add 3 copies of that into your deck with the +3/+3. So you have 3 4/6s in your deck somewhere that are 2 cost. It's ridiculous when you pair stuff up like that. Alrighty, let's see what we got at 32. Another Squashling. It's a good one to have. So now I have 2 of those. The Mercspark Eel. If your deck has only even cost cards, deal 2 damage. So see, they're playing a lot with like the weird, like if your deck only has 2 cost minions, or like the even cost minions, that kind of stuff, because they've been like, they already had ones that's like, if you have no minions in your deck, summon all the things. After your hero attacks, give your minions +1/+1. It's a good buff card, and that Silver Sword goes really, really well with that, that one card that gets the extra stuff. Lady in White. Lady in White is stupid ridiculous. Cast Inner Fire on every minion in your deck. So that means their attack gets set equal to their health. And there are cards that have shown up that I think I glanced over that are taunt cards that are 0/9 as their stats. But if you have Lady in White and you play that, then that 0/9 becomes 9/9 for taunt, which is stupid ridiculous and awesome. Got plenty of Witch's Apprentices. A lot of these are going to get dusted just because it's duplicates of stuff, but that's okay because that means I can make more cards that I actually want. There's another Life Drinker. Militia Commander. Yep. Darkmire Moonkin. It's okay. If you're wanting to do a very spell-heavy druid. This one, the Unpowered on Steambot. That's what I was talking about with the Lady in White. It works super well. Phantom Militia. We talked about it, but play over and over and over again. Get a crap ton of taunts. Wanted. Deal 3 damage to a minion. If it kills it, add a coin to your hand. Which is kind of neat. Because that's just like, oh, bam! I don't want your thing alive anymore. And I get to play some more stuff. There's another Spectral Cutlass. So I feel like Spectral Cutlass Rogue will happen at some point. I'll have to at least try it. Paragon of Light. That's what I was talking about with the Silver Sword. If you use the Silver Sword and attack once, that immediately becomes a taunt with Lifesteal, I think is what it was. It may have been Divine Shield. I don't remember. It gets 2 things. I have very short-term memory, especially since I'm excited about this pack. Bellringer Sentry, Battlecry, and Death Rattle. Put a secret from your deck into the battlefield. So Secret Paladin's making a comeback. Well, it may not have left, but it'll be more popular again. Have you seen all of these before? That's the good thing about doing like these mass amounts is you get cool cards that you can talk about, like the Hunting Mastiff, which ironically I have that. So I could play 5 Mastiffs on the board and just wreck face all over his board if I wanted to. And the Cursed Castaway. And what are we looking at now? There's that Dire Frenzy again and Silver Sword. We've seen all these again. That's the thing. Once we get closer to the end, like, we have now opened 60 packs. It goes by pretty quickly. I mean, you've seen all the cards before. Whispering Woods. Summon a 1/1 Wisp for each card in your hand. And the art, especially on this one, is really, really cool. I have seen other stuff of his on Twitter before, and I love that guy's art. I don't remember his name. I think it's Max Grec? G-R-E-C-K-E? I remember right? Chief Inspector. Destroy all enemy secrets. Nice. Direct counter to a Secret Paladin. Or a Secret Mage. Furious Etten. That's a solid taunt. It's simple, but you don't need anything super complicated. Give a minion +2/+2. If it's an elemental, add a random elemental to your hand. So Elemental Shaman, still a big thing. I'm happy about it. I like the elementals. They got a lot of like cool play where it's like, hey, if you've got this other thing that's also an elemental that you played last turn, then do the thing. Coffin Crasher, summon Death Rattle minion from your hand. At this rate, I think I'm going to be able to get one of the legendaries that I want that I haven't gotten yet. I mean, I don't know which one I would get. Bog Shaper. Whenever you cast a spell, draw a minion from your deck. Because I haven't really looked super deep into the cards. I've only seen like what's been on some of the Sound the Bells. Let's just buff your guys as much as you can. But we've got 3 or 4 now. I think we got 3 out of the packs, so 4 total. And we've seen all of these before. Vivid Nightmare. Choose a friendly minion, summon a copy of it with 1 health remaining. Which is different than summon a copy with 1 health. This means that you can heal it back up to full health. Nightmare Amalgam is kind of interesting because you can play it in like all kinds of decks where it's like, if you summon an elemental or if you have a Murloc, this counts as an elemental mech, demon, Murloc, dragon, beast, pirate, and a totem. And it's a decent cost for a decent minion. It's a 3/4 for 3. Rabid Worgen. Simple enough. The Glitter Moth. If your deck has only odd cost cards, double the health of your other minions. So an odd cost priest is going to be a thing. Probably. Or it may just fizzle out. That's one of those things, like, there are sometimes very specific cards like that will not really have an impact at all. And sometimes they will be what you build decks around. It just depends on the person. Alrighty, we have opened 70, and we're on the last 6. There's another Curio Collector. It's a 4/4 for 5. I was wrong about it before. Last 5. Alright, let's check all of these. Good cards in there. It's just we've seen them all. We've seen all those. Cinderstorm. Deal 5 damage randomly split among all enemies. That's cool because that is like a it's like a better version of Arcane Missiles. Which is a good card. It's super simple, but it has pulled very clutch in moments where I needed it. And the last pack. This pack opening. The Voodoo Doll. Choose a minion. When this dies, destroy the chosen minion. That is ridiculous. And can be used to kill very difficult to kill things. I'm going to check what the Tavern Brawl is real quick before I finish this. I don't know what this is going to be. A chance encounter. We heard you like random cards. Choose a class and get a randomly filled deck of randomly random cards. Random! Neat. So, that will do it for this week. I am super excited to be playing some more of this. I can guarantee that the next video will probably end up being, or almost guarantee at least, that the next video will end up being playing a Hearthstone deck that I've made, or showing you guys my random elements mage that has been improved so that it's now standard. And I'm going to try to make some cool decks and show them off. And one of the new features I think they have added with this is also that you can borrow other people's decks that you're doing like a friendly match against. So if you and a friend are wanting to play together and one of you has a lot better cards than the other one, then you can literally just share decks and say, hey, use this one for this game, and we'll both have fun and we'll both be able to use like really amazing cards. So it'll be really, really cool to be able to do that with some of my people. I may have to see about talking to Nathan again and playing some cool stuff and letting him borrow some of my awesome decks. But because last time I really outmatched him really, really badly, and I feel like this will be a lot more fun for the both of us. So I am going to call this video here. I am so glad that this came out. I forgot that this came out the day that I'm recording this, which is the 12th, which is Thursday. So I am going to hopefully have this up for this Sunday, so long as everything goes according to plan, which, knowing me, is somewhat unlikely because I am a mess when it comes to plans. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, all the things, especially the bell, because I have this bad habit of not uploading as regularly as I'd like to, or I upload on the same. I tend to upload on Sundays just because Sundays are kind of a dead day in terms of like YouTube content and that kind of stuff, and so I upload that just so there's something else there. Especially, I try to upload it around noon here, which is Central Time. So that would be like around lunchtime and that kind of stuff. Just that way you got something to watch while you're eating if you want to not talk to your family for the afternoon or something. But again, thank you all for watching, and be sure to have fun, play games, and take care. Bye.